You've got questions, and we've got answers. Ask a CodeHead.
All right. We're cheering for ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's everyone's favorite segment, and maybe just ours, but Ask a CodeHead.
Oh, boy.
Because we did get a couple of questions, as we told you guys last time, and then we read Cheryl's question, and she got a free CodeHeads t-shirt as a big thank you for sending in the first CodeHead question. Maybe we'll send them out to more people.
Yep.
But we had a bunch more questions come in, so we're gonna keep it up. You guys are asking questions, and we're gonna answer them. So this Ask a CodeHead, we have Mark from Toronto.
Ooh.
Friendly neighbor from the north, which we appreciate you. And Mark, I did email you, so send us back your address so we can send you a tea. But Mark asked us, what's a common myth about CPR or cardiac arrest that you both wished more people would stop believing? So unlike Journey, who says don't stop believing, we want them to stop believing.
That's a great question. That's a great topic to bring up.
It is.
Do
you know?
Off the top of my head, on the spot. Do you know?
I do. I have one that's like a real
go for it.
Issue for me.
Go. Ooh, all right.
It's a real bugbear, as it were. So mine is that I have heard numerous times, and I've seen it online, like in Facebook forums, which drives me bananas because I don't want to chime in. But I've seen a lot that people say, oh, don't be an organ donor. If it says organ donor on your license, then if you are in like an accident or, anything, or you have, you go into an arrest and they look to get your name and they see that you're an organ donor, they're not going to work on you. They're just going to let you die so they can take your organs. That is not how it works. And that is not what happens. And in fact, we're not looking at anyone's ID. We are just, eventually we have to figure out who they are if we don't know, but that's not how anything works. We work on everyone and we do our hardest and we do everything, unless family tells us otherwise. We do everything to try and save people.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if the driver's license dictated whether or not you perform CPR on someone.
Correct.
Right? That shouldn't be, a deal breaker.
No, absolutely not. And
that's an important point. All kidding aside, like that's, I hope that not too many people subscribe to that belief.
I know. Because I've always had that I'm an organ donor on my license, like since I was 16, got my license, and I always will be. And I worked in transplant for a long time, and it's something I really believe in. So I don't need my body anymore. You take my parts if something happens to me and they are unable to say, it's the best thing you can do. It's the best gift you can give. And it's not something, as healthcare providers, it is not something we are looking to take from someone. It's a gift that you are giving us if we are unable to save you. So
it's not a DNR.
Correct.
It's not DNR.
And even if people have DNRs, when people are like, "Oh, I'm going to tattoo that on my chest," that's another thing. DNI.
That's
not a legal document. We still have to do everything.
That's a peeve. Because I heard, I'm going to tattoo it. And then I'm like, no, unfortunately, you have to have this specific document. And if one T isn't crossed, one I not dotted, which happens all the time.
Yep.
The signature's not there. Unfortunately, because, the due diligence was not done prior, we have to work that code, period.
Correct.
And that's a shame, because I know the patient doesn't want that. I know their family doesn't want that, but we're bound to work that code. So please, if you do have a DNR, get it proofread, double check, because it's really unfortunate. CPR is a resource intensive, invasive procedure. So if you don't want that, you shouldn't have to have it.
But don't tattoo it on your chest, one. And
No,
two, it also goes against the myth that we don't do anything if we look at your license.
Right.
We do everything.
Right. Or if you
Yeah.
brutally tell your loved one, look, if I go down, leave me, that's not going to hold water either, unfortunately.
Right, because you guys could have just had a fight, and you're like, "Oh, you know what? Leave him. Take the laundry out."
He told me not to.
Or
Yeah, he told me not to do anything.
yeah.
So this is what he wanted. This would be best.
So
What
that's
wow.
we could go on about for a long time. But yeah, so that irks me. And that is I feel like it's more common than you would think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of answered it, but let's bring up one other thing. How about oftentimes people, you see, compression's absolutely essential during cardiac arrest, and on TV, TV shows, you'll see every time with CPR, there's being compressions performed.
Yeah.
And what is not quite understood is of equal importance is that AED, if not more, because the AED is what's going to bring them back. If they're suffering from an electrical conduction issue, i.e. a myocardial infarction, i.e. a heart attack, number one cause of death for women, number one cause of death for men. So the AED is there. Now, that's not to take away from compressions, because what compressions are doing is they're preparing that myocyte for defibrillation, because the heart's going to acidify. So we need to oxygenate and perfuse those organs, because if we do get them back, they might not be salvageable, right? And they might not be able to leave the hospital. And this one is huge. It demands 1/5 of our cardiac output. It's going to be very upset. It's very prickly. If we don't, oxygenate it, they're not going to leave with a good neurological outcome. And we know chain of survival, the save is great. We've talked about this plenty, but the best part, what we really need to work toward, is getting them out. So CPR does that. Compressions do that. And it also buys time, right? Once we determine the reversible causes, it's like, we don't know what it is yet, but let's just keep going because we want to try to fix it, right?
Yeah. And I think people, that's a great point. I think people think that when you do CPR, like, oh my gosh, that's the save. And it's one part
Yes.
of a save. It's a really strong helper, and it's a big part of the save, but it's not the only thing. You know, and it depends why someone went into arrest too. Sometimes you can do CPR and people are like, da-da, I'm back. But that is exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
The statistics on that are very, very minimal. But it is something that needs, that's why we do this podcast. It's something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
But it's
we're not saying it's a bad thing. We're just trying to say that compressions alone are fantastic. Do them perfectly. But
yes.
that's not the whole,
It's
like
one
you said,
piece of the
it's
puzzle.
part of the equation.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
So I hope that helped. What's his name?
Mark in Toronto. Yes.
From Toronto. I hope we answered your question. We deviated a bit, got a little silly, but
Yeah.
that's part of Ask a Codehead.
It is. All right. Well, thank you all for being here for
You've got questions, and we've got answers. Ask a Codehead.